Men talking in bars. Is that a genre in movies? Isn't it kind of the first podcasts? Guys like to hear guys talk, frankly. They want honest, revealing, insightful conversation, even if they can't contribute. Why does this work? I'll tell you, but you're not going to love it. It's because loneliness. A pod with Joe Rogan and his buddies, guys that you know you'd have a great time with, makes you feel less alone, even if you can't pitch in. Do you know how valuable that is? Actually, we kind of do. Spotify paid Joe $100 million. Men, hearing men confirm the way they think, reinforcing their beliefs, or just being good company, is staggeringly valuable and surprisingly powerful. It's a whole industry, and it's eclipsed cable news networks and view numbers.
That's not nothing.
Diner and Swingers are proto-podcasts. Proto-casts? Obviously, they are scripted, but delivered as loosely, as realistically as possible. A French fries script with improv gravy. The scene in Diner when they're arguing over the roast beef sandwich. Guys busting balls. That's never not entertaining. You're the guy in the next booth listening in, smirking, recognizing. Guys reinforcing manhood whilst also establishing what it is and figuring out how it should adapt to the world as it changes. That's a beautiful pursuit. And it never ends. Outside the locker rooms and late night diners, there are girls. They're out there, right now, typing in offices, pushing the elliptical without breaking a sweat. They're so exotic, so mysterious, so compelling when you're shoulder to shoulder with the boys. The guys have to figure out how to cross the torrent, how to build the bifrost that links the two realms. It's a dangerous, delicate, desperate mission. Are we supposed to go to their side and stay there? Do we kidnap them and bring them back over here? How do we reconcile the two realms? Diner is set in a time so distant, you might as well set the women on the island of Themyscira and have Mickey Rourke and his Argonauts set sail on a conquest, one which they'll barely survive. Diner works because men don't change that much. There's a delightful, tragic lag in their adaptation. And they've barely changed at all by 1996 in Swingers. Swingers has a title you're embarrassed to mention. You say it's your favourite movie, no one has seen it, they think you're talking about something sketchy on a VHS tape you found in an associate's basement. Swingers is basically checking in on the same territory. Where are men at when they first encounter women? Well, apparently they're in the same spot. They're super underprepared, they're earnest, they keep screwing up. This is comedic because it's so recognizable. And with the now legendary answer phone scene.
Hi, Nikki, this is Mike.
One of the toughest watches imaginable. Mikey calling up Nikki in the middle of the night, leaving increasingly desperate messages. One of the toughest watches of all time. The boys in Swingers have some version of success. Well, Trent and Sue get laid, but no one is finding love. And who's in love in Diner? Shrevey loves Beth, but he's failing at building the Bifrost. The old timer scene in Diner, the most resonant, timeless and perfect, is Shrevey reinforcing how important his record collection is to him. A rant that starts as an example of men's obsession with making lists. Top 5 jazz drummers go, whilst his wife looks on tearfully, not getting that, and beautifully resolves by Shrevey pointing out that the record collection is a scrapbook, each song marking a key moment in his and her life. We men are glad that this obsession was justified.
And ain't that a shame was playing when I walked in the door.
As we know, our own lists. What's the best bounty hunters in Star Wars? Go, top 5. Our own lists will never have such lofty justifications. Can men build the Bifrost without losing themselves in the crossing? The guys in Diner and Swingers are so complete as a unit, so fluent in their own language.
You're like a big bear, man.
That women represent not just romance, but an existential threat to the whole architecture of their lives. It looks like a war, but only to one side. The other side are patiently waiting for you to cross over and realise there never was a war. You bozo. Fenwick, secretly a genius, is what happens if you never build the Bifrost. You're set adrift on your own island, And you get to keep your special powers. You've got the power of profound insight. You see through every pretense, but you can't do a damn thing with it. Because you're now completely isolated.
How's that working out for you? What? Being clever.
But here's the thing. You don't have to sacrifice your lists, the blanket forts, your Star Wars figurines when you grow up. You just have to find someone who understands why they matter so much to you. Okay? Levinson asked the question in 1982. Favreau answered it in 1996. Men figured it out. Then they forgot. Then they figured it out again. They always will. Those bozos.